everybody and welcome back to my channel. Hope you've had a really good Christmas break and a good start to 2020. Mine has personally been terrible. I've just been procrastinating and doing nothing productive, but I wanted to start off my first video of the year on YouTube talking about the trends of 2020. Of course, it's still autumn winter, the season hasn't changed at all. A lot of the trends are still continuous from last year, and actually I do have a trends video of a rundown of the 2019 autumn winter trends. So really in this video I'm going to be talking about trends that kind of emerged towards the end of 2019, trends that are like true big key trends for now 2020, and some that maybe are new to 2020. So I'm going to start obviously with this dress, which I bought towards the end of the year. In fact, I bought it just before Christmas. This is a super billowy dress from Primark. So it's white. Well, it's like a white silverish dress. It's got a sheen to it because it is actually taffeta. Billowy dresses are a massive trend for 2020. So we're going to see lots of those kind of tiered, really oversized, shapeless dresses basically, and we saw a lot of that in 2019 anyway, but now it's going to be different fabrics. Taffeta has come out quite a bit. I think taffeta is quite a nice fabric to do in the tiered dresses because I think taffeta just helps dress it up a little bit more. Taffeta obviously it creases, but it doesn't look as I don't know what's the word for, as scruffy, whereas this dress is completely, I've literally just taken it out of the bag, haven't even hung it, and you can see it still looks good. I guess it's the sheen and it's the contrast in the taffeta, which is generally quite a dressy, Christmassy associated fabric really. Definitely prefer this kind of material to the poplin tiered dresses, just because it's just easier. You don't have to iron it. Before I had on a few pairs of shoes with this dress, I was like, oh my god, this dress is totally going back to the shop. It's so not for me. It's just completely unflattering. But actually another trend that is really big for 2020 are androgynous style footwear. Now of course we all know that like biker boots have been major for 2019, and they are not going anywhere. And I think with dresses that are particularly feminine like this, billowy taffeta, you know, wearing a biker boot is a really good way to kind of toughen it up, give it a bit of edge, and also with the heel it really helps to like elongate the body, make and kind of balance out the bulk and volume of the dress, so it kind of contrasts with the billowing volume that you've got going on up top. I've gone for these boots. These are from Zara. They have got that tracking sole. They're really chunky. They're like basically a big chunky Chelsea boot. They really remind me of the Louis Vuitton, I think they were called Star Trekkers or something, I can't remember what they were called, but just really comfortable. I bought these because I wanted a boot that I could wear on the nursery run that still had a heel that felt a little bit on trend. Sorry, 1 second. I can't remember where I was now because I got rudely interrupted as always. But if you are a lover, if you are a mother, then the chunky boot is just such an easy trend to kind of incorporate into your daily wardrobe. For me, it's like the perfect nursery run boot. I put it on with a pair of black skinny jeans just to really kind of make the look on trend, but still completely practical. So really loving this trend. I've kind of just like dipped my toe. There are obviously some much more extreme chunky boots on the high street, trickled down from the likes of Prada, and like some just really big chunky, almost like military like boots. Not sure I'd quite be going for that, but I do really like the idea of pairing like really androgynous boots with like feminine frilly floaty dresses. So that's why I like this. I also think these will just look really good with a pair of black leggings and a white shirt, just really toughen it up, and I really do love androgynous dressing anyway. So these were a pair of boots that I really wanted to get into my collection. But of course, you know, there are the classics, Dr. Martens, which never really go out of style. This might be something that I might get tired of one day, but Dr. Martens, I did have a pair of Dr. Martens that I sold, which I completely and utterly regret. But I feel like chunky boots, biker boots, they are here for now, but I think if you get a classic pair, like a pair of DMs, you'll be wearing them forever. Luckily I didn't invest much in these because they were in the sale, so I got them for £19.99. I will link them down below. I think they're probably all sold out, but I will give it a go. Well, I'll link similar anyway. So actually I'm going to change now because I'm not sure how comfortable I feel in this dress. So The next trend that I'm going to talk to you about for 2020 is mini skirts and general shorter hemlines. Oh, here she comes. Oh. Yes, so another trend that is very big for 2020 is a general shorter hemline. So shorter dresses, shorter skirts. Basically the mini skirt and the mini dress is back. I do love a short dress, a mini dress. I just find them really flattering on my shape because I am a leg rush. I do quite like my legs and I have long legs, and I find that when I wear shorter dresses, it first of all makes me look a bit younger and feel a little bit younger, and also just a lot more kind of, obviously it shows off my best assets, or the assets I feel most comfortable to show off, and it makes me look slimmer. So that's why I really do like mini dresses. There is a general lean towards sexier dressing. So for me personally, I really like to style my mini dresses in the winter with kind of more tougher accessories. So I would go for a boot. I wouldn't probably go for a long like over the knee boot, because I think on me that doesn't really work. I know some people feel like it then kind of covers them up a little bit more so they don't feel as exposed, but for me I'd rather go for a pair of tights and maybe like an ankle boot or a chunkier boot, blazer, you know, and just kind of wear it that way. Again, I would be quite comfortable to wear it with a pair of tights and platforms. Just about thinking how you feel comfortable and obviously where you're going and what's appropriate. So the next trend, which is not, I feel like, I mean, apparently it's going to be even bigger than it was last year, but it's polka dot. I suppose what we saw last year with that bloody dotted dress from Zara was, it wasn't a typical or technical polka dot dress, was it? I know it was dotty, but I don't think it was a polka dot. So this 2020 we are seeing polka dots being a major trend, and think about like polka dots on your trousers, polka dot blazers and polka dot dresses. I think for me, when I wear polka dot, as you will see in this clip styled here, I kind of like polka dots to be a little bit more kind of, I think that polka dots can be a little bit demure, and I like mine to be kind of sharper, stronger. I generally, when I tend to wear polka dots, I am channeling Dolce and Gabbana. That's kind of how I feel like I want to make it like a play on, again, like I always like to play with opposites and juxtapose things. So a play on like being sexy but demure, for example. First of all, although it's just a big polka dot dress, it has got these really accentuated sleeves, and like it's got like a puff, almost leg of mutton kind of sleeve going on here, which obviously already sharpens up the polka dots. And I wore it with leopard print. So the leopard print in itself is automatically a much kind of sexier, sharper print to the polka dot. So kind of just ups the ante a little bit. Polka dot in all sorts of forms. I've seen lots of polka dot jumpers in Zara, no, maybe not in Zara, but in H&M, in Topshop. I've seen polka dot culottes on sale in Zara. They are actually in the sale though, so they might be gone by the time this video goes out, but if not I will link it down below. So yeah, lots of polka dots in all the ways you can imagine. If you're not a print person, I think most people that don't really like print will always tend to wear stripes. Polka dot is a good kind of alternative to that, obviously. Another big trend for 2020 is oversized blazers. We kind of saw that emerging towards the end of the year anyway. I'm really loving this trend because I like blazers for autumn winter that I can fit jumpers under. Obviously not thick jumpers, but like something like this, like a polo neck or a turtleneck or something like that. I can just wear it beneath my blazer. Again, obviously if you're wearing it out in the evening and you want to keep it on throughout the night, you can do it with like a bodysuit or like lace cami underneath, maybe even belt it. One second. Hello? Yo. Sorry, really I'm interrupted there by the hubs. Anyway, so men's blazers are a really good way if you want to get good tailoring and you don't want to kind of invest loads of money in an oversized blazer. Then going for your husband is always a really good option. Of course that is if your husband is bigger than you. I love the oversized blazer trend, and I will definitely be raiding my husband's wardrobe because he obviously works in fashion and has a very good collection of tailoring. So another one of the trends that is really big for 2020 is of course still the oversized, accentuated, emphasized billowing sleeves on shirts, on your jackets, on jumpers, just as we've seen throughout 2019. They are still back. They are just even more voluminous, and they are much more than a dramatic shoulder, but a complete dramatic sleeve. And you know, it's on jumpers, dresses, yeah, jumpers, dresses, blazers, you know, everything with a dramatic sleeve is major. And I suppose that kind of ties in with kind of the retro trends that we are seeing. Like a lot of the trends have kind of a retro feel, so these kind of dramatic billowing sleeves, padded shoulders, they really are kind of like reminiscent of some of the like trends of like the 80s and the 90s and the 40s. And another trend that is big is denim on denim. So I thought I would talk about this jacket. This is one of my favorite jackets of 2019, and it again has got that kind of really retro kind of style sleeve. I think a good way to wear denim on denim is with a really good, something has to be statement. So it can't just be, I mean, of course it can be like, you know, a basic denim jacket and a skinny jean, or a, you know, straight leg jean. But I think when you've got something that's really statement and that's like setting off the, you know, the Canadian tuxedo, as they call the denim on denim look, I think it just makes it that little bit more kind of fashion forward. So having like a really kind of like this jacket obviously is all about the sleeves, or if you went for like a, you know, your normal denim jacket but with a really good denim flare or something like that, just something to up the ante a little bit, I think makes all the difference. So that's just my kind of advice when styling denim on denim. Like, try and make it more than just the fact that you're wearing denim together, and make it a little bit more about kind of the silhouette or the era that it's reminiscent of, or, you know, just kind of to make it that bit more pow pow pow. And again, like I'm talking about retro trends and trends that are reminiscent of kind of like previous centuries and decades. Decades, sorry. It's, oh my god, my mouth is so bad, that's not even funny. Is flares. Flares are a massive trend for 2020. I kind of wear flares. They're not like a trend thing for me, obviously, because I love 70s, and I just find flares are just so flattering. So I wear flares all the time. My favourite pair are from, where are they from? From Topshop. They are the Jamie Flare, and I do need to get these in a lighter blue. I do have another pair of denim flares from H&M, but the flare is not just as good. These to me are magic pants. First of all, flares, boot cut, whatever you want to call them. Well, these are actually a flare, but boot cut jeans as well are really, really flattering. They elongate the leg, especially if you wear them with the right shoe. I really tend to buy mine slightly longer because I wear a lot of high platforms. So I really like to use these to elongate my legs even more. And I just, because they are so flattering on me, they're not massively a trend piece, they are something that is in my wardrobe all the time, but I do like to kind of give them that 70s edge every now and again with like my platforms, and maybe like a kind of a 70s-esque floral blouse or something like that. But what I love about kind of flared jeans, especially like the light up blue denim jeans, is that they work really well in the summer as well. So yes, love a good pair of flared jeans. Gold hoops, well, not gold hoops, but hoops in general, which again is kind of reminiscent of the 90s. Hoops are really coming back in for 2020. Like a really, really simple kind of earring. I know that a lot of people don't like hoops. Kind of like these I've been wearing for ages, but I think they're quite a classic hoop. They're not really like, you know, but now they are obviously a kind of a thing. But I've just been wearing them because when I've got my hair up like this, I'm very conscious of how big and round my head is. So I wear some big round earrings to kind of counteract or balance out big roundness. But generally, yeah, hoops really, really affordable and easy trend to incorporate into your wardrobe and just wear with, you know, anything that you usually wear. Instead of wearing a stud or maybe not wearing anything, just put those hoops on if you're someone that doesn't really wear jewelry. That will really like kind of stand out on you and kind of nod to the trend quite easily. Is the reworked trench. So trench coats are, you know, like a autumn winter staple. They are like your go-to outerwear if it's kind of rainy, or, you know, or if you're kind of in transitional season, then, you know, trenches are always really good. They're a good layering piece. But now we're seeing trenches that are kind of a little bit more experimental. I can't remember if it was JW Anderson who done a reworked trench with like kind of the lining was exposed on the outside, and it was again had that kind of puffed sleeve. You know, I have got this trench here, which I'm not going to talk much about because I have talked about it so much, but this is obviously a very kind of, I think this is kind of reminiscent of the 80s with these sleeves, but again it's cropped, so it's a kind of a different trench, cropped, double-breasted, much sharper, trench than, I just think this trench has like, it's just super sexy, as well as you know, some trenches can be quite boring, can't they? So I'm really liking the fact that this has been reworked beyond your kind of a general Burberry trench. So look at that, look at that, oh my god, look how flat that is. I mean, that is just gorgeous, love it. In fact, I might just keep it on for the rest of the video. Bermuda shorts. So again, like I said before, we're having these shorter hemlines in terms of skirts and dresses. Shorts have become longer. So we had last, you know, well, throughout the summer, we had the cycling short trend. So Bermuda shorts, we're seeing them in a different way to before. They are much longer in length. So they're almost midway between a culotte and a Bermuda short. So they're kind of in that mid length. Personally, for me, these are really hard to make flattering. I think they definitely need to be styled with. I would either go for blazers to kind of sharpen it up. I think anything that you struggle to style, just put a blazer on and it always instantly looks good. And things are much tighter on top. I do also like the idea of just like a shirt tucked into a pair of Bermuda shorts, but then it's all about getting the right proportions, how close to the body your actual shirt is. I have got a look that I wore to Milan in 2018. Not Milan, was it Milan? No, it was Florence, which was just like a shirt and a pair of Bermuda shorts, and I liked it and I felt really comfortable in it. But then looking back at it, I think maybe the shirt was too oversized. Again, I think of Bermuda shorts, for me, I would definitely need to be wearing heels. It wouldn't even be a kitten heel, it would need to be a big heel, like a good size heel. And then to balance out the volume of the Bermuda short, I would go for like a thicker heel as opposed to like a thin heel or a stiletto heel. So that is how I would go for a Bermuda short, and then like I said, with a blazer or a shirt that's quite close fitting to the body, but maybe like a cotton shirt so it still looks quite classic. I know that a lot of people are or will be styling them with those tank tops, which are also a massive trend for 2020, but not one unless my body changes in the next kind of few weeks or whatever. Not one that I can see myself trying to attempt, because I just don't have that upper body look going on. But again, you know, if you're just wearing it with a blazer underneath over it, then it's fine. Whatever you wear underneath doesn't really matter. And the final trend is logo mania. Logo mania is still very much a trend, and it's very 90s again, and so reminiscent of decades of the past, which I love. You know, I'm massively into, I just like the nostalgia of it all. And actually 2019, the trend was massively led by being nostalgic. Lots of kind of like retro trends came back in, like the 40s, which is not a trend that I ever kind of saw coming back, was massive for 2019. For 2020, there's a lot of like 90s influence, and logo mania is still a big trend. Also tying with logo mania is obviously the belts, the logo belts. Obviously Gucci has probably been the most popular logo belt of God knows how long now. I personally don't own a Gucci belt. I have got this one. Obviously, like I said, I love a bit of 90s, and so I went for this one. This is just one from Versace. Why did I go for this? Because I was going through a vibe of wearing like a white t-shirt, jeans and a blazer, and I wanted a good belt to kind of elevate the look a little bit, and I just felt that Gucci was just overdone. Now I really want a Gucci belt, because I am still really kind of channeling my 70s style, and I just feel like the Gucci belt ties in so perfectly with the 70s kind of look. But then again, also I think Chloe is really good at doing that 70s girl as well, so Chloe is also another alternative if you didn't want to go for Gucci. And maybe I'll be looking at another belt, because I do feel like this belt, obviously Versace is quite strong. It has a really strong aesthetic, and obviously Versace is something that's really associated with being very sexy, which obviously I like. But and you know what, I was just thinking this would look, this is so Versace, like this belted here like that is just so Versace. If I ever wanted to just like swap out the tie belt and really up the ante and do a little bit of a Donatella vibe, you have to think of the aesthetic of the brand as well when you're styling. Well, I like to anyway, because that's a little bit anal. And I think that Versace is such a strong brand, lends itself to much kind of sharper looks and styles, whereas the Gucci belt I feel is a little bit more versatile. And again with Chloe as well, I think it's just, they're just kind of more I don't know, they're less, I don't know what the word is, I don't want to say stylized, because Gucci is very stylized and very populist, but they're very just slightly softer in their aesthetic, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so that is this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will try and link stuff below. Some of this stuff is in stock. I didn't get to show you the jumper that I wanted to show you, but I'm sure it will be here somewhere. I'll insert it somewhere. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative, and there will be a blog post going up on myporter.com where I will be kind of like adding lots of options for you to browse and like just kind of give you a bit more of a visual inspiration, as well as me just talking and putting links down below. There'll be more kind of like mood boards and stuff like that for you to kind of get ready for your trends for 2020. And of course, you don't need to, a lot of these items I have shopped my wardrobe for. I've already had some of these in my wardrobe, so in fact most of it has already been in my wardrobe. I think that shopping the trends is, first of all, it's optional. Lots of people are not massively trend led nowadays, especially when you're trying to be a little bit more sustainable. I think shop your wardrobe first. Once you understand what the trends are, shop your wardrobe, see what you've got. And that is my thing for 2020. 2019 really focused on building my brand, and I felt that being able to show people what's in the shops was something that gave people a lot of value. But now I'm more about kind of styling what's in. I've always been into styling anyway, but I want to focus more on styling what's in my wardrobe and trying to make those look brand new as well. So just, yeah, more styling basically. I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to head on over to my website for more of kind of visual mood board inspiration. And of course, you can always follow me on Instagram for daily style inspiration. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, like I said, and please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. And my next video is about, what is it about? Oh, it's my best and worst of 2019. I don't know if I've done this the wrong way around. And also I've got a what's new in my wardrobe video. So if you would like to see those videos, don't forget to hit that bell so you can get a notification the second it goes up. But thank you so much to all of you that have subscribed so far on my little channel. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Enjoy the rest of 2020 if you don't come back to this channel. Ciao, ciao. Not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to continue. So what was I talking about? I can't remember what I was talking about. Another major trend for 2020 is, oh yeah, I was talking about puff sleeves. So oh,
I really miss you, Mommy.
Miss me? I'm right here.
I really miss